about your Mavs right now, your Dallas Mavericks. Do you feel like this team can make some noise in the playoffs, or shoot for a high seed?
Actually, I think that we can. I think the goal here is I think that if we can get ourselves a favorable the Mavericks, if they can get themselves a favorable first round matchup, I think they can get to the second round. And I look at the team right now, the makeup of the team. They're 4-3 right now without Dirk, but they've had some pretty impressive wins. They've had some losses that kind of make you shake, that kind of make you scratch your head a little bit. Charlotte was one of them, but losing to Utah and losing to I think the Knicks as well, not really bad losses. It's just gonna, like I said, it's gonna take some time to gel. When they get Dirk Nowitzki back, you're going to see the Mavericks do pretty well. I think, but to make the long story short, I think they'll make it to the second round. I'm pretty happy with the way the team is right now. Obviously, I would love to see them have more wins, but I'm happy with how they're doing right now.
Right, right. And that's all you can think of, fan is constant improvement and better play. And Dirk is going to be back soon. So, and with Rick Carlisle as your coach, you can't go wrong.
Hmm.
So,
And just also to add one thing, I really like the way OJ Mayo has been playing so far. I mean, he's really thriving in his new role on this team. I mean, even if it's probably just temporarily that he's going to be that he's the primary scoring option. Of course, since Dirk is out, and he'll probably move down to number two. Obviously when Dirk gets back in, I really like how he's been playing. I really like Darren Collison as the point guard of the squad. He's doing pretty well. Um, they have Dallas. They might not have the sexiest of teams, but they have a hard-working team that that at any given night you're going to be in for a dogfight, and I really like that about this team.
right. And I want to also ask you, with Delonte West gone, do you feel as if that was a bad loss for the Mavs or something that, they're not going to really regret?
Right now, as much as I really wanted Delonte to come back actually, before the season began, but this was before everybody was talking about his conduct. And if it is whatever he said was true, whatever they said was true about that, I hate to have to get rid of a guy like that because he last year, yeah, he really cared. He really showed that he had the heart of the team when kind of some of the other players did not. It's hard to really to cut away from a piece like that. But with a team that has some younger players, you kind of want to. I hate to say it. I kind of hate that they had to make that move, but it was kind of the right move a little bit too. But you got some younger rookies like Jay Crowder and all that. They can really probably fill in that role a little bit, and I guess kind of take over what Delonte couldn't do and all that stuff, and be a little bit better of a role model as well.
Right. Now, before we wrap up about basketball talk, how do you feel about the Miami Heat right now? I mean, they're big, the Miami Heat are always going to be a big deal, but right now, do you feel as if they're a lock to repeat, or do you feel as if you still need time to make their decision?
Right now, I feel like I might still need a little bit of time for that. I still probably am going to go with Oklahoma City winning the finals, but I would love to see a rematch between those two. With Miami, it's pretty interesting of how they're doing right now because they're playing what everybody's calling positionless basketball. I mean, they have Chris Bosh as the 5. They have LeBron playing the 4, and they're actually going with a lineup of 5 good guys out there. But I think what's going to also hurt them a little bit is I've seen some of their games where defense has really hurt them a little, where they don't seem to get back on defense a little bit. And I feel like if they don't shore that up a little bit, that's probably going to hurt them a little bit more than it will help them. What do you think, Rob?
I see them as being still the team to beat, but I think they have a few more kinks in their armor than last year. Like you said, they're one of the best passing teams in the league to me. Fast paced, man, they're just dangerous. Ray Allen is playing the most pissed-off basketball I've seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's really trying to prove that, hey, boss, y'all tried to trade me and kept saying I was the weak link in the big three. Well, bam, 3-pointer. I still got it. He's showing that he's still a threat, from 3-point to perimeter, around the rim, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they still look like people, like you said, sometimes they look like they get a little lazy on defense.
Mm-hmm.
D-Wade right now, he's going through a couple of illnesses. Some games he plays, some games he's not. But they can do that because they're deep this year. They're not chasing any records or anything. I don't even think they're probably chasing the number 1 seed. They're pretty much just, like, hey, we need to rest and get healthy, and when the playoffs come, we'll be prepared. So, right now, I still see them going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Boston, I had Boston going to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Boston looks a little shaky right now, but, Boston's never been a really good regular season team, with the during the Garnett, Paul Pierce, Rondo era. So we'll see how they continue to develop.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun to see. Miami's going to get it they're going to get everything that everybody is going to throw at them. Like I said, Boston's going to be there. You'd have to hope that Indiana's going to be there when Danny Granger gets back healthy and all that. They're not looking too good right now, but if you've seen how they played last year during the playoffs, they can really give Miami some problems, I feel like, too.
Right. And, like you said, once he gets back at 100%, Philly, when they ever get Bynum back, we still don't know what they look like at full strength.
Mm-hmm.
Bullpen looks pretty good, but we still haven't, I guess they still have chemistry issues they're still trying to resolve, The Knicks have already beat Miami. They're on a hot streak right now. They have the best record in, basketball, so we'll continue to see how they develop. But, like you said, it's going to be an interesting ride, an interesting season, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited about the games. I'm excited about the way the season's going so far, so, it can only get better.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Well, we're going to take our little bit of another commercial break right now, and when we get back, we're going to have our interview with Evan Barnes. He is a writer from L.A. He has his blog with virgogumbo.blogspot.com. It's going to be a very fun interview. We're going to talk a little bit about the Lakers, and we're going to talk a little bit about anything else, probably the NBA, anything else that he also wants to talk about. It's the Gafford and Brown Show. We'll be right back.
Let's do it.
All right. We're back with the Gafford and Brown Show, and right now we're with our special guest, Evan Barnes. He has a blog with virgogumbo.blogspot.com, and he's also one of my friends in the industry as well. And I really wanted to get him on here. How you doing, Evan?
I'm good. I'm finally glad we have to pull this off, man.
Oh yes, most definitely. Right now we're going to talk a little bit about the Lakers. What are your thoughts right now about this whole coaching situation that they got Mike D'Antoni now as the head coach, as opposed to maybe Phil Jackson or anybody else?
Well, honestly, man, I'm as shocked as probably most of LA is right now. When I got the news last night,
the first thing I could think about was, how did they pass over Phil Jackson for Mike D'Antoni? And I call him Mike D'Antoni because the D is silent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it, he's not exactly known for his defense. But I was shocked. I mean, I know that Phil Jackson, I assumed Phil Jackson was pretty much going to be announced today or tomorrow, but I guess, the bus organization, the bus ownership wanted to go with somebody who the players probably liked a little bit more, and basically someone they liked more, because the bad blood with him and Phil Jackson runs deep. I mean, they tolerated Phil his last couple of years here. They weren't too happy with him dating Jeannie Buss, who's working with the team. And they probably wanted somebody who wasn't going to make as many demands as Phil Jackson was with his, with what he wanted before he came back.
And so basically now, you got this. How far do you see them now going, since they made this move?
Well, I mean, right now, if they can get back to what they need to do, I mean, they could probably get back to the top as a contender for the West. I mean, they still were, but right now, they clearly weren't playing like one. I think right now, they have the ability to probably get to the Western Conference Finals, I think. I don't know if they can get past Oklahoma City just yet. I still think that OKC minus James Harden is a better matchup for the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
But, they're going to try to run with OKC. I think that's a foolish decision because OKC is much younger, they're faster, and to me the best way to beat them is slow them down to half court and, force some mistakes on that side, because we know that Steve Nash isn't a great defender. We know as good a defender as Kobe is, he's not the lockdown guy he used to be. So I think it'll be really interesting to see how far they get. I don't know if they can get to a championship, but I do think the Western Conference Finals now is still clearly in sight.
Oh yes, most. Any questions for him, Rob?
Well, what can the Lakers do? What do you think D'Antoni's going to do to solve the Lakers' bench woes? How do you think he's going to alter their rotation?
Well, I think it'll be interesting because with D'Antoni's system, it makes a lot of guys thrive. And I think the main guy who might thrive off the bench from this is probably Jody Meeks, because he's the team's best shooter off the bench. I think he'll probably benefit a little bit more because if they're running, he can float out to the perimeter, catch those shots, those passes from Nash, just hit transit. But I really do wonder, because the Lakers have a lot of bigs on the bench. They have Jordan Hill, who I think is going to benefit from running around, catching, getting a lot of missed shots and putting it back in the bucket on second chance shots. But I do wonder too, because I think they don't have the deep bench and the speed off the bench to really contend. But I think, I also think Darius Morris, who's probably going to play a little bit more now that Steve Blake is a little bit hurt, he might benefit too, because he's the guy who can, run in the open floor a little bit. And, being a young guy, he might benefit a little bit more too. So it could help, but I still kind of wonder about that myself,
Yeah, and poor Mike Brown, first of all, too. I mean, it seemed like they really, his style of basketball kind of really did not mesh well with what the Lakers style was. I mean, of course, he did bring in a little bit of a more of a low scoring, slow down type offense. What would you say was probably like the most? What would you say was like the biggest issue between him and, well, actually his dismissal from the Lakers?
Honestly, I think that the problem was the Princeton offense, and I think people are going to believe that because it's an easy target. I mean, the Buss organization, Dr. Jerry Buss, he came, he bought the team, he got Magic, they were in Showtime, fast all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think with Mike Brown, they saw a coach who was going to take them backwards. They saw the team not scoring a lot of points. They didn't really like this Princeton offense, which is a very slow offense. And I think that as good a guy as Mike Brown is, and I've met him before, he's a very nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is that being a nice guy and someone who's a very prepared guy, who's a defensive guy, it just didn't really mesh